Right, I've had a thought. Some of you may not have access to black paper for these Remembrance Day pictures, so I'll do one on white. This is a big old sheet of A3, but even if you're working on A4, whatever it may be, always leave that little gap around the edges because it just looks nicer, especially when it comes to framing. So let's have a go. Working on white, and I'm just using a little bit of charcoal. It's a little bit too small, but it'll make do. And chalk. This paper's not as rough as the sugar paper, but it will do. So let's get some smoky kind of sky filled in. What I'm trying to do is just have a bit of variety with my pressure, so I'm pressing down a little bit harder, a little bit lighter, just so it's not all the same. And then we'll get in some background. Nothing too high or mountainous because we're looking at the Somme sort of the area, which is fairly flat. And then as I put these lines in, it suggests it's coming closer. So it gives a sense of distance and sense of scale. There we go. I think that will do there. And let's just have a couple of figures in. So stickmen, as always. Head. Body. Hips. Legs. And legs make up pretty much half of the body. Always do that little test just to be sure. Little trick, if you don't want to do the feet, if the feet are causing a problem, go like that. And now the legs are actually covered up so you can't see them. So he's actually now walking behind this little ridgy bit here. I don't want one person, I want two, because I'm going to do stretcher bearers. So I need to have a gap behind them. And as the person's further back, I'm going to make him just that little bit smaller. There we go. That's my arms. Like so. Be the stretcher there. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to block all of this in. It's all in silhouette. You won't see any detail. I'm doing this rather quickly, as you can see. You can take your time and make it look really, really nice. There we go, and we'll just put the helmets on. My chalk's a little bit too thick for this, but it will do. Okay, there's my stretcher bearers, and I'll finish off just by putting a tree or two in. I'll not be doing full trees. I'll try and make them look like they've been blasted and bomb damaged. When I'm doing it, I'm not doing it as a solid colour like I've done on the men. I'm allowing my charcoal to wobble a little bit, and that way it gives it a little bit more texture. When you do your branches, try not to have them coming out at the same height. Try to have them in different directions. I'll just have one there. That's quite close to me. If I was to go over here, you can see that would be further away. So I'll make this one that much smaller, and not just smaller but thinner as well, so it creates that sense of scale. I'll put a few more in the distance. As you go further back, you can press down a little bit lighter, because your eyes wouldn't be able to focus as well in the distance because of the smoke and the fog. So you'd lose some of that detail. There we go. I think that's all that's required of that. And then, being Remembrance Day, we're just going to throw in a few poppies. And I think that's all that we need. If you want, if you've got some chalk as well, you can actually use a bit of chalk to add with the blending. Maybe catch a few highlights. Got to be careful because it's quite a thick piece here. Doesn't need too much, just a little bit if you want. I think I'm done. There we go. Another one for Remembrance Day, this time working on the white paper.